I wanted to start today on opining. I recently got into that word because since, that's, I guess, what I do now. Where is the headline? Wow, it's not even in this McConish newsletter. Okay, Trump is looking, or broadly speaking, the Trump Justice Department is looking to indict those legislators, or I guess those legislators in the video saying that you may disobey illegal orders. Most, I guess, prominent in that story is Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona. I'm going to quote Eli Honig when he was going for the indictment of Don Lemon. The way the Trump Justice Department proceeds with things is if they go for an indictment and it doesn't work, try again. With Don Lemon, it worked. Again, the point is not to actually convict or pursue justice. The point is you are indicted. I'm going to give you that headache. And now you, sir, the defendant, have a headache to deal with in terms of legal fees, reputation. You have to check in a box to say that you have a criminal history, and so on and so on. Victor Perkins, good morning. Again, apologies for the confusion here. So I just think it's so petty what the Trump Justice Department is doing in terms of pursuing the arrest warrants, or in terms of indicting those that they simply disagree with or don't like. I mean, if I remember correctly, Secretary Hegseth was saying that he was going to try to recall Mark Kelly on some sort of reserve duty for hearings to see what kind of disciplinary measures can be taken. No, I don't need a headline. I had I believe an ABC headline prepared, but you know what? I was going to have it prepared for this stream. I can't believe this. McConnell should put it at least in my version of the newsletter. It's worth noting that I get it to my Gmail account, and I know that's specifically truncated, but it's amazing to me that it's not in there. I'm looking at the expanded headlines, and wow, I don't see it here either. Okay. And then, it's something, and then another story that unraveled earlier today. El Paso airspace closed for 10 days because of special security reasons. It happened today. I was up actually chatting with some of you guys at about 5-6 o'clock in the morning. And that's when it unraveled. Really interesting. I wonder what's going on there. Another thing I'd like to opine. I've been thinking more and more about the Bad Bunny performance in the Super Bowl. You might think that's like, yesteryear's news by this point. I went back and watched portions of it. It was an objectively good performance, but I think like a lot else on TV, it became, I'll tell you the truth, me as a parent, I wouldn't watch my children watching it. I wouldn't like the idea of my children watching it. The displays of the kinds of dances, and I mean, I wasn't, I wouldn't be comfortable with my children watching the halftime show. That's really where I'm at. And it's not only particular to this year. I think it's a good display of American culture, Puerto Rican culture, obviously, to be specific. I think that the segment Michael did with that professor of Puerto Rican studies or something like that was fantastic. It made me understand a lot more about the whole performance. But I guess it just wasn't to my liking, but that's okay. It's good for the NFL. I wouldn't let my children watch it.